Hi, all. Tonight I want to talk about some things I got from a course I'm enrolled in through my work. It's called Future Ready Utah, and it is a program that is put together by certain colleges, and they go around to the rural areas of Utah and help the small businesses um, be successful and see that where they can help improve um, employee retention or increase their revenue, ways that they can help the business owners work with people to make their business successful. So today, the person that presented was the owner of a quilt shop over, I think it's in, Mideastern Utah. And he talked about all the different roles he plays because he's a dad, he's a husband, he's the entrepreneur, he's the business owner, he is the technician, he is the inventory person, he is the contact person, he is the advertising and marketing director, he is also in charge of childcare for his child. And he went into how each one of these things affect his business and which parts he really enjoyed doing and which parts he didn't care for really, and how when he had his child with him at work, it was really hard for him to focus because he had to keep his eyes on a little 2-year old or around that age. And he said it was like having daycare at a sewing machine shop. And it says it's not a good mix. But the presenter that presented the course to us through Future Ready said she had a diagram, and it was an XY diagram, and on one side is willpower and on the other side is why, or your reason. And she split it into 4 quadrants, and with high on the top, low on the bottom of each. So top and the bottom, left and right so the left was low, the right was high. So when you get over to the right quadrant on the top, that's your sweet spot because you have your high willpower and you know your reason why. And so she talked about, because it is our sweet spot, what can we do with these other 3 quadrants and how can we make our business be successful? So I look at myself, for example, and I have a freeze-dried business, and I love the preserving of the food. I love seeing the transformation. I love seeing the outcome of my freeze-dried stuff or the dehydrated or pressure canned, bottled, all the stuff like that. I really like the process. But what I don't care for is the marketing end of it. I'm not bad at it, but I just don't care for it. I would rather have somebody else do it. I would delegate it. I'll pay him. I'll, bring on another person so that we can have more success in the business because we need to get the word out and market it better. But one thing that people that own their own business have to have is they must love what they're doing or they won't stick with it. They must have a passion to bring this product, this service, whatever it is, about for other people to see and to benefit from. But part of the thing that I really enjoy doing is teaching about the life cycle of a garden. And, we start with in the winter with the compost. We save the eggshells. We save banana peelings. When I make bone broth, after the broth is done, I put the bones in the pressure cooker and pressure cook them for 10, 12, 15 hours. And then they're very easy to break. So I smash them up with a cast iron skillet in a bag. And that is bone meal. When you go to the store and buy bone meal, that's what it is the bones all crushed up. But these bones that I have are pasture raised, grass-fed cows, and they're organic from all I understand. And so here I am putting back into the soil to regenerate and enrich the soil. The bananas have the banana peelings have potassium, which is very beneficial for the soil. And if your soil is deficient, your plants and your vegetables, your foods that are grown there will show the deficiencies in the foods. But okay, so we go to the compost. We save our kitchen scraps and compost them, which enriches the soil, which through the decomposition of everything, it makes a beautiful, beautiful soil, and it draws the worms also. So there's lots of worm castings, there's the kitchen scraps, and then in that soil is where we plant the seeds. And because there's so many nutrients there, the seeds grow, they produce a bountiful harvest, and then after the harvest, we take the plants, pull them up, put them back into the compost pile. The leftover seeds, a lot of times when I do my canning, like we just did some cactus apples, made cactus apple juice, and we put the leftovers from that into the compost. And all this stuff decomposes and enriches the soil where we plant our seeds to have our harvest for the next season. And it is just a continual cycle. And so in doing this, it helps raise awareness. So with some of my kids' friends that come over, then they want to know why do you guys save everything? Why do you save your eggshells? Why would you save banana peelings? What are you guys ever going to do with these? And when we show them and they start to understand and see how it works, we had a friend ask if they could bring another friend over and show them. Anyway, it was pretty fun to me to see that, because these kids had not been exposed to gardening, preserving things. They just they actually moved here not too long ago, probably about 6 months ago. And I believe they were from down in southern Arizona. So they were living in a big city. They had no exposure to gardening, no exposure to compost, about being out there and planting the seeds and seeing the vegetables and things grow and then eating what you grow. These are very valuable skills and important things that I feel like we need to pass on to the next generation. We need to teach I need to teach my children and any others that want to know how to preserve food, how to do these things so they can continue and pass them on. These are things that are skills that we can use them forever. And they can be taught, they can be learned. This stuff isn't hard. It just takes a desire to do it. And, along the lines of small communities and rural areas, there's a lot of bartering that goes on. And I will tell you, people pay a pretty penny for organic grown produce. So many people are waking up to the fact that our food is poisoned. And when we eat the majority of the foods out of a grocery store, we have no idea what's in it. And I've had a lot of experience with the freeze dryer. When I buy frozen fruit ready to freeze dry versus when I get the fresh fruit and I prepare it myself to freeze dry it, it is absolutely amazing to see the difference. So one of the big ones was peaches, and the frozen peaches that I bought came out as little, almost rubbery chunks. They weren't good. They didn't have very good flavor, and they were really chewy, which is not how freeze-dried foods are. Freeze-dried foods are, they're crisp, they're dry. And the peaches that we bought, the actual fresh peach, and peeled it, froze it, and then freeze-dried it, they are so good, and they have such beautiful, delicious flavor. And to open the bag, it's just the smell of fresh peaches. Anyway, these are just some of the little things that we can put out there, that I can put out and help people figure out ways to preserve their own food so they know what is in it and what they're putting into their body. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.